Welcome back to Make Money Online. Today we'll be looking at the expectation of XRP to rise over 2,000% even after the lawsuit. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell as well. True to the investment wisdom of not following the crowd or trading against the psychology of the crowd, two community members are currently predicting a massive price increase as soon as Ripple settles or wins the lawsuit with the SEC. One YouTuber told his thousands of followers on Twitter that the price recovery of XRP right now is likely due to the SEC lawsuit. One of the XRP researchers pointed out to the excellent performance of the KIN token after KIK survived its battle with the SEC. After the conclusion of the legal battle with the SEC, which won the case and allowed the token to be classified as a security, KIN experienced a roughly 2,000% price increase. If Ripple is victorious in court, all exchanges that suspended trading of XRP are expected to reverse their decisions. Since XRP was traded on many more exchanges than KIN, the effect could even be greater, according to the YouTuber. After the lawsuit was announced shortly before Christmas, XRP crashed by more than half. Even though the price has shown some recovery since then, the ongoing headlines and predictions are having a measurable impact in terms of XRP price. While other coins such as Polkadot have been posting triple-digit gains during the week, XRP on the other hand is below the set mark. But what problem is Ripple trying to solve? The goal of Ripple is to make bank transactions more efficient and transparent, especially cross-border intercurrency payments. Here are some advantages that could prompt further adoption of XRP and thus facilitate the peak surge to 2,000%. On the blockchain or the Ripple ledger, intermediaries are only involved electronically. No actual work is performed. Thus, intermediaries such as correspondent banks don't need to deduct fees from the funds that they're processing. This makes payments much cheaper. Also, the administrative overhead is greatly reduced through automation and transparency. No one has to look up corresponding banks to correctly fill out the form or phone the transaction addressee to find out if the funds have arrived. And cheaper liquidity is available through XRapid, who can then lower their fees for their customers. As Ripple was previously known for its thriving and fast growth, there definitely will be some opposing team that wants its downfall for them to rise as well. But the previous good record it has can't be erased, among which is its wide range of advantages for trading and transferring money and its contrasts with other crypto coins. Bitcoin was planned fundamentally as an advanced resource to be used as a trading mechanism. Ripple, on the other hand, is a permanent framework for repaying and trading cash and it processes exchanges quickly. It doesn't utilize blockchain to offer a cord. Instead, it sums up information using a hash tree and processes this information over its approving servers. In contrast to most other cryptocurrencies, XRP can't be mined. All 100 billion XRP tokens were delivered and disseminated when the coin launched. Back then, XRP was one of the largest digital currencies by market cap and is seeing far-reaching use by financial institutions around the world. Banks are increasing their investments in XRP among all the assets they hold and use. Ripple controls and owns an astounding 62% of all existing XRP. That has naturally stressed XRP financial specialists. Ripple's reaction was to lock up 55 billion coins. On the other hand, a broad perspective on the topic shows that Ripple was built to be, and stands as, the gate for institutional money inflow. This is very important to keep in mind. We all know that when the world economic system switches to crypto in the future, it'll only happen through solutions such as Ripple. Vast amounts of institutional money will begin investing through Ripple. Years of work and adoption have proven the technology's security and reliability. Meanwhile, it allows less expensive and quicker transfers than its rivals. The company represents a rapid exchange framework, which permits a client to finish an exchange within 3 minutes. The high-speed deals make it possible to cut transaction costs and time spent by 45 to 75%, and the flexible convention makes it an exceptionally versatile tool that can adjust according to market patterns. The group associated with Ripple is focusing on 1,500 transactions per second in the not-so-distant future, which is higher than rivals are currently capable of offering. The company's primary objective was to create a payment system that would be used by banks to facilitate the transfer of funds in both international and domestic markets. Today, many financial institutions have already started using Ripple, and with its good record from before the lawsuit, it's obvious that after the lawsuit it'll focus on achieving even better results. And this will go a long way to play a significant role towards its rise, as a lot of lessons have been learned from the previous mistakes and definitely will be corrected. Is an XRP price recovery possible? While the case against Ripple appears damning, it may not be over for XRP just yet. As Ripple counsel Michael Kellogg accurately told Forbes, Other major branches of the US government, including the Justice Department and the Treasury Department's FinCEN, have already determined that XRP is a currency. Kellogg argues that the currency designation means XRP transactions fall outside the scope of federal securities laws. He added that it was not the first time that the SEC has tried to go beyond its statutory authority. The courts have corrected it before and will do so again. The SEC has been constantly criticized for overreaching in its pursuit of digital currencies. None more spectacularly than its gross misuse of power against Telegram's TON network, as the SEC was somehow able to stop it from launching anywhere in the world. Another concern for XRP holders, as the token is not viewed as security in Asia and Europe. XRP's fate now may rest entirely in the hands of the American judicial system. At the time of recording, XRP is trading at 22 cents, with the asset losing over 50% of its value in the last 7 days alone. Forecasting the performance for cryptocurrency is a tough thing to do. These investments don't abide by the same rules as the regular market, and Ripple's XRP is no exception. Currently, Ripple is working hard at onboarding banks for its corporate solutions. Recently, it started partnerships with several Japanese and South Korean banks for its X-currency system, and it's going to pilot its XRapid system with the financial service provider MoneyGram. These partnerships are paying, and it seems like Ripple Labs can decently fund themselves by cashing in on XRP's currency gains on the markets. They're still not holding on to the majority of the XRP funds that exist, and they further contribute to XRP's rise with strong marketing measures. So it's believed that the products will start bringing in profits. How can you make money with Ripple? The current adoption and pilot projects of Ripple look quite promising, as it has many big names on board already: MoneyGram, American Express, Santander Bank, Bank of Tokyo, Mitsubishi UFJ, SEB, and others. Of course, it remains to be seen if Ripple will be adopted long-term after such pilot projects, but it is at least off to a strong start. First, the demand for developers familiar with Ripple will increase in the banking sector and adjacent industries. Many banking professionals are still working on understanding the blockchain itself, so they will need technical professionals to explain Ripple for them. These experts will also be needed to implement Ripple solutions and interfaces with legacy systems. Second, further currency gains in XRP are possible, but speculative. The higher the industry adoption of XRP, the higher its price will possibly rise. However, the simple fact that Ripple is holding so much of the funds is a source of uncertainty. Third, you can build a business on Ripple. This is not risky as Ripple is already regulated, more so than other crypto. However, it remains that the Ripple protocol is open source, so in principle, everyone is free to come up with innovative business models that avoid the cumbersome regulatory aspects. XRP's price prediction for 2021. Many exchanges have already delisted or suspended XRP. All of this has led to a huge price drop and a big divide among the XRP fans. Some of them are throwing in the towel, selling at loss and moving on from Ripple. Others are seeing this as an opportunity to buy the dip. But what should you do? Sell XRP or wait? XRP, as the rest of the market, is tied at the hip of Bitcoin's price action. If Bitcoin embarks on another bull run, XRP can hope for one as well. Bitcoin usually has a cool-off phase after its mega bull runs, and that's when the altcoins take over and have a field day with the bulls, often doubling or tripling their price within days. Waiting a bit is really like sowing a fast-growing plant to harvest. This chart showing XRP USD's price has been holding above the support structure for a long time, and the price bounced from support as expected. If the price continues to hold above the structure, it's expected to move upward. It had reached its first target in January, and it will definitely reach its second target in February. But what are realistic XRP price predictions in 2021? Anything between 30 cents and 50 cents is a fairly realistic price prediction that XRP can get. The $1 is the ceiling for XRP that could be reached should the whole market embark on another crazy bull run. To narrow it down a bit more than 50 cents is probably the most likely zone for XRP for the upcoming months and potentially years. Putting a precise number out is really not serious, but some have done it. $2 for one XRP in 2021 is often quoted as a reality. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Let us know in the comments if you think there's a light at the end of the tunnel for XRP. See you next time.
Hollywood car set.